Hello and welcome everyone to the November Council meeting. It's really great to have so many people here. Can each elected member please say their name and the ward they represent to assist those in the gallery? Starting from you, Councillor Bell, please.
Good evening. Marisa Bell, Councillor for the Southern Vales.
Mick Fisher, Pimpala.
Jordan Pritchard, Southern Vales.
Marion THEMELIOTIS, the Lassa Ward.
Dan Platten, Mid Coast Ward.
Evening, Greta Wilkes, Mid Coast Ward.
Hi, Kim Davis, Pimpala Ward.
Colt Stafford, Knox Ward.
Jeff Eaton, Thalassa Ward.
That was me. And Heidi Greaves, Knox Ward, thank you.
And published to Council's meeting website approximately 48 hours after the conclusion of this meeting. And it will remain on Council's website. Audio and vision of any persons making a deputation and vision of persons present in the gallery will be captured in the recording. Can all members please stand for the pledge? We recognise this city's considerable natural and cultural heritage, including thousands of years of traditional ownership by Ghana and the more recent contribution from people who were born here or have migrated here. As we meet together, we build on this heritage by respecting and listening to each other, thinking clearly, being receptive to new ideas and speaking honestly and deciding wisely for the current and future well-being of those we serve. As you'll note, the Mayor's not here, but we'll go into apologies in a minute. My name is Councillor Lauren Dew, for those that aren't aware as well, and tonight I'll be presiding over the meeting. It's wonderful to see so many people in the gallery tonight interested in our region, who are here to see our council deliberate on many local issues and opportunities in the agenda. To ensure we're able to conduct our business in an open and transparent way, I remind members of the public to please keep noise to a minimum, which will allow all present to clearly hear the proceedings. We also ask that you don't film any part of the meeting. Anyone behaving in a disorderly manner will be asked to stop immediately, or otherwise I will need to ask you to leave. Section 95 of the Local Government Act of 1999 sets out that intentionally obstructing or hindering a meeting is an offence which can carry a maximum penalty of $1,250. So in the agenda, we're up to leave of absence. We don't have a leave of absence, but we do have apologies by the Mayor and also Councillor YEOMANS. Before I move into any further, I'd like to acknowledge that today was Remembrance Day and ask that we all stand for a minute's silence. And thank you to all elected members representing our council today at Remembrance Day services. So now we're moving along to the confirmation of the previous minutes from the October meeting. Do I have a mover? Councillor EATON.
Yes, I'll move as written.
And Councillor THEMELIOTIS.
A second as written.
Thank you. All those in favour? Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. So now we have the Acting Mayor's report. There's a couple of things I wanted to highlight. One, I'd like to note that Councillor Davis represented me last night at the South Adelaide Football Club change room opening, which was fantastic, so thank you for that. So that needs to be updated in the minutes. And also a new addition, Councillor Fisher actually received 45 years of service recognition with the South Australian Police today, and I think that's pretty remarkable and something worth acknowledging. So do we have somebody that's willing to move the motion? Councillor THEMELIOTIS?
Yes, happy to move the motion as written.
Thank you. Councillor Eden?
And I'll second it. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favour? Carried. Sure, thank you. So we'll move into the presentations. I'd like to call forward Ines, who will present an award to the City of Onkaparinga from the Engagement Institute's Core Values Award. Thank you, Ines.
Thank you, Mayor. And through you, I'm very pleased to present Council with a prestigious Core Values Award from the Engagement Institute. So this award really recognises the journey that we went on with our community to create the community vision. That was over 3 stages of community engagement, where we received well above 5,000 pieces of different community engagement through all different forms. And there were 10 elected member sessions at which members worked very hard to shape that into a vision that really represents what people love about Onkaparinga and what they hope for its future. The Core Values Awards honour outstanding projects and practitioners who embody the principles of meaningful, inclusive and effective engagement. And we received the award for the Planning Project Award category in recognition of the elected members and councils and our community's commitment to developing and working towards that shared vision. And the awards are handed with you. Thanks.
Wonderful, thank you. We don't need to do anything with that, do we? No. Now we have our deputations. We've come to the night for our deputations. We have 2 deputations tonight. This is one way for our council and councillors to hear directly from our local community, and is definitely something we value. For our 2 deputies, when I call you forward, please go to the seats allocated, actually just in the front of you there. And I'll give you further instructions. If I do it now, it might be a bit too much. So Mr. Barrett, if you could come forward, please. Perfect. Thank you for joining us. On the microphone there, you'll have a little button. We might just test to make sure that it's working. Perfect. Would you be able to just...
Good evening, everybody.
Beautiful, thank you. I'll turn you off and then we'll do it again in a second. I'll just mention a few things if that's okay. So, Mr. Barrett, thank you again for joining us tonight. You'll have 8 minutes and you'll receive a warning chime when you have 2 minutes that remain. And at the end of the deputation, are you willing to take questions from the chamber? Wonderful. Okay, if you can just press that button and then go ahead. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Councillor and staff. My name's Oswald Barrett. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight about matters that affect us all, homelessness and the urgent need for expanded ethical and accountable support for vulnerable residents in our community. Key concerns, Onkaparinga currently does not operate any council-run emergency accommodation or transitional housing. This is confirmed in Council's own affordable housing strategy, which states that local government is not responsible for building or operating housing. As a result, vulnerable residents are left dependent on external providers with limited capacity and oversight. Many vulnerable residents are unaware of available supports due to fragmented communications and a lack of visible council-led initiatives. The increasing cost of housing and essential services is pushing more individuals into precarious living situations. Rapid population growth, driven in part by federal migration and planning policies, is placing unprecedented pressures on local housing markets. Without increased funding for infrastructure, council and charities are left to manage disappropriate burdens. Homelessness should be met with compassion, not suspicious. Poverty and disadvantage are not crimes. Some residents experience homelessness are survivors of institutional abuse, including child sexual abuse, whose trauma has led to long-term housing instability. This is not speculative. The South Australian Mulligan Inquiry and the New South Wales Wood Royal Commission both exposed widespread abuse in state-run institutions with lasting impacts on survivors, mental health and ability to maintain stable housing. Across South Australia, nearly 2,000 people with complex mental health needs are missing out on support. The closure of Glenside Hospital eliminated long-term care options, and an estimated $125 million per year is needed to address the state's mental health services shortfall. This is not just health failure, it is cost-shifting strategy that burdens ratepayers and outstretched charities. I respectfully urge Council to consider the following actions: establish a council-funded emergency shelter or drop-in centre, partnered with a reputable community-vetted provider. Increase funding and promote a local outreach service, including mobile support teams, mental health liaisons, culturally safe services, and basic medical and dental outreach, and access to hygiene facilities such as mobile showers and laundry services. Create a centralised homelessness response hub with real-time updates, services, maps and multilingual access, with printed directions on public notice boards and digital kiosks or libraries and community centres. Facilitate community forums with stakeholder consultations, ensure lived experience voices are central to service design and policy development. Champion a compassionate and inclusive charter, affirm the dignity and the agency of all residents, housed or unhoused. Advocate for funding and policy alignment. Formally seek increased support to address homelessness and housing stress in high-growth regions like Onkaparinga. Implement independent auditing and transparency measures. Commit to external auditing of homelessness-related spending and partnerships. I have some questions on notice. Can the Mayor outline any homelessness-related initiative? I realise the Mayor's away at the moment, so this will be on notice. Can the Mayor outline any homelessness-related initiatives discussed at the C40 World Mayors Summit in Brazil that may be applicable to Onkaparinga? How does the Council plan to integrate social equity, including homelessness support, into its sustainability and climate resilience strategies? What was the total cost of the Mayor's attendance at the C40 Summit? And how was this funded? What mechanisms are in place to ensure ratepayer-funded travel results in tangible local benefits? Has the Council formally approached the Government to seek increased funding or policy alignments in response to the population-driven housing stress in Onkaparinga? What safeguards are in place to ensure that homelessness services funded or endorsed by Council are subject to ethical oversight, trauma-informed practices and community accountability? Will the Council commit to independent auditing of homelessness-related spending and partnerships, including those involving ratepayers or state government funding, to ensure transparency and prevent auditing waste? How does the Council plan to ensure that unhoused residents who may lack internet access benefit from digital homelessness response hubs or online service directories? During the attendance of the C40 summit in Brazil, did the Mayor choose to experience homelessness firsthand, such as sleeping rough, or was her accommodation funded by ratepayers? If funded, what was the total cost and duration of her travels? My closing remarks is homelessness is not just a housing issue, it's a community issue. ONKAPARINGA has the opportunity to lead with integrity, compassion and innovation. I urge Council to ensure that any services supported or endorsed are subject to rigorous ethical standards and community oversight. Given Mayor Ware's recent attendance to the C40 World Mayor Summit in Brazil, funded by ratepayers, I respectfully request that the Council share any global insights she may have encountered that could inform local homelessness responses. Urban sustainability must include social equity, and I hope this international engagement translates into meaningful local action. Finally, I remind Council that all their public spending, including homelessness initiatives, is funded by ratepayers. It is not Council's money, but the community's. Responsible stewardship, transparency and meaningful outcomes must remain at the heart of every decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr Barrett. Appreciate your time. Just to let you know that you're very welcome to leave your questions with us, if staff could collect them from you, or you could email it. You're happy to hand it over?
Yeah, there's 13
Yeah,
copies
wonderful.
there.
Thank you for that. Do we have any questions from the chamber? All right. Thank you, Mr Barrett, for your time. I'd like to call forward Mr Mark Nielsen, please, for a deputation. I'm sure it's still fine, but we'll just check to make sure the microphone's working, if that's okay.
Yep, okay.
Perfect.
How's it going? Good.
I'll repeat what I said just a moment ago. Mr Nielsen, thank you for joining us tonight. You'll have 8 minutes and you'll receive a warning chime when there's 2 minutes to go. Are you happy to take questions from the chamber?
Yep, sure.
Thank you, wonderful. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor and councillors. Thanks for inviting me on. So this is basically, we call it heading local action by local people. So most of you would have seen the Advertiser article of the 22nd October Copacabana Mayor's trip. It spoke of this Mayor's trip as part of the C40 Cities World Mayor's Summit in Rio de Janeiro, addressing climate change and urban sustainability. The main focus of the article was on the cost to the council and return on investment, which of course is important, but I think we get a bit carried away with this cost, especially when you consider the amount of debt the council has, whatever it is, 145 million, I'm not sure. Anyway, I think the bigger issue is this. Why are we worried about foreign countries, what they're doing, and why should we let them influence us in how we run this city? Now, let's consider the C40. It's a global network of world's leading cities working together to address climate change. Each member city commits to science-based climate targets along with the Paris Agreement, sharing data projects and policies through C40 networks. Now, it appears ONKAPARINGA is not yet a member of the C40, which is somewhat reassuring. Now, of more concern is ONKAPARINGA's membership of ICLEI. NIELSEN is the International Council for Local Environmental Initiatives. It's a global network of 2,500 local and regional governments. They influence sustainability policy and drive local action for zero emissions, nature-based, equitable resilience and circular development. Membership comes with annual fees and requires the city to obey their bylaws. So the question comes up naturally. What exactly are we paying for? How much are we paying? And what rules are we obliged to follow? Now, ONKAPARINGA'S climate response plan references ICLEI, so this relationship is real and ongoing. Now, international climate organisations include ICLEI, C40 and others are pushing local government through the Local Government Association to adopt zero emission targets. They claim this will curtail climate change, create economic opportunities and improve public health. They promote divestment of fossil fuels, prioritising renewable energy, public transit and nature-based solutions. That sounds wonderful, of course. But if we examine reality a little closer. Now, Professor Ian Plimer is probably Australia's top geologist and has an international reputation. He has a book out, it's called Green Murder, a life sentence of net zero with no parole. Now, where he calls, in this book, he calls CO2 the gas of life, because without CO2, we all die. Now, I'll quote from his book. Now, quote, "It has never been shown that human emissions of the gas of life drive global warming. A huge subsidised industry of intermittent, unreliable wind and solar electricity has been created based on unsubstantiated science." Now, Germany, Texas, California and the UK had a glimpse of net zero with blackouts, astronomical high electricity costs and hundreds of deaths. We once had reliable, cheap electricity, and now that governments have gone green, we're heading for hard economic times. Now, he goes on. Now, in this book, I charge the Greens with murder. They murder humans who are kept in eternal poverty without coal-fired electricity. They murder economies, producing unemployment, hopelessness, collapse of communities, disrupted social cohesion and suicide. Now, even Bill Gates, who was once the leading climate alarmist, publicly reversed his position on certain net zero assumptions, reported in Sky News on the 4th of November. I'll just quote quickly from some of his quotes. Now, this is Bill Gates. Now, he says, "Although climate change will have serious consequences, particularly for people in the poorest countries, it will not lead to humanity's demise. People will be able to live and thrive in most places on Earth for the foreseeable future." Now, although climate change will hurt poor people more than anyone else, for the vast majority of them, it will not be the only or even the biggest threat to their lives and welfare. The biggest problems are poverty and disease, just as they have always been. Now, that's a huge turnaround for someone like Bill Gates. Massive backflip, and a lot of people are doing that. Now, meanwhile, a lot of this climate change agenda originates from foreign organisations, including the World Economic Forum and the United Nations. They are outside Australia, telling us how to run our country and proposing policies that are likely to cause economic disaster and unnecessary hardship. The World Economic Forum wants to bring in what they call a new world order to reset the entire world economy by massive wealth transfer to billionaires and big business, which will send the rest of us into poverty. Now, their famous slogan is, and you may have heard it, "You will own nothing and be happy." Well, I'm not happy. I'm against the World Economic Forum, and so should you be against them. We must put an end to foreign influence in our city's affairs. So I urge Council to Number one, end its association with foreign countries in making policy. Cancel membership with ICLEI. Stop any moves towards closer association with C40. Halt further expenditure on green renewable energy, which is neither green nor renewable or sustainable and only drives inflation. And prioritise ONKAPARINGA'S local needs, with councillors, you councillors, taking the lead, not international bodies or foreign agendas. And be sceptical of the foreign agendas promoted by the Local Government Association. Now, to finish, local action must be controlled by local people. We face an impending economic crisis if we continue to chase foreign agendas under the guise of climate action. Our priority is our community, our economy, and our environment managed by us, for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Nielsen. Just wanted to remind elected members that Mr Nielsen provided a one-page document as well for your reference. You're happy to take questions?
Sure.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the chamber? No. Thank you, Mr Nielsen. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we're going to move into reports of committees. 8.1, Special Audit and Risk Committee meeting minutes. Do we have a mover? Councillor Pritchard.
Happy to move as written.
Question or debate?
Just a little bit of debate, thank you.
Sure, please, go ahead.
Just from this, so this is the Audit and Risk Committee meeting where the external auditors come in. So we've got new external auditors this year. They've changed over after their 5-year term. So we had a good session with those and also administration. One of the actions is to align any external action items that are captured with our internal audit action items process, and really stress the being the largest council in the metropolitan area, we should be using that as a leadership tool in a lot more of the things that we're doing, which comes out in the annual report later on.
Thank you. Councillor Fisher, would you like to second?
Acting Mayor, I'll second the recommendation.
Thank you. Any debate? No. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item 8.2, the Special Chief Executive Office Performance Management Committee meeting minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Platten.
Happy to move. Thank you, Acting Mayor.
Thank you. Would you like to debate?
Just to say that it was a very productive meeting and I look forward to the processes moving forward.
Great. Councillor Eden.
And I'll second it. Nothing to say.
Wonderful. Thank you. All those in favour? Being carried. Reports of officers. So 9.1, we have a report relating to the commemorating of Helen Oxenham OAM. Councillor THEMELIOTIS, would you like to move it?
I'd like to move that Council point 1, plant a tree. Can you remove the plaque? So plant a tree at Rotary Park near the Place of Courage, and point 2, a bench plaque at the Rotary Park near Place of Courage, and remove the 3, 4, 5. Let me just read that really quickly, just to check. Yes, that's exactly what I'd like to move, and I'll debate really, really briefly.
Thank you.
We okay? We're good? Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'll debate really, really briefly. This chamber has acknowledged Helen with the key to the city, and I acknowledge the Deputy Mayor who provided that, and I think it was a really touching thing we could do before her passing. Helen had made a huge contribution to our city. She gave everything to this city. And I remember speaking about her in this chamber, and I said, you know, you're going to meet people in your life. And the first time I met Helen, what I was left with was a feeling. And you don't always get that from someone, where you leave feeling a strong sense of comfort and a sense of, I've known you for years, and a connection. And she's just one of those people that just brightens up a room and you just feel like a big warm hug with her. She did so much for this city, so much in the domestic violence space, family and domestic violence space. She opened up her doors when no one else would to people throughout our city. I think this would be a fitting way to acknowledge her, and I thank council staff for reaching out to the family, finding options for us to do this.
Thank you. Councillor Wilkes?
I will second. I would have preferred a couple of more points in there. I think Helen is worthy, definitely even of a written publication, but happy to second. Helen was an incredible woman. She had humility and love, and just like Councillor THEMELIOTIS has said, she was someone that you would meet and she would often take your hand and you could just speak to her and talk to her. And I really thank Helen for everything she has done for our community that support those non-judgmental views and her open heart. I thank her for the wealth, courage and strength she's shown to society. She was a woman who opened her doors when nobody else would. Her values and characteristics were well beyond society, but they were well overdue. Helen, I truly believe you are gone, but you will never be forgotten. And any way that we can remember that remarkable woman, I think, is a true indication of just how important she was for society and what she stood for. So more than happy to second this, and also just extend my thanks to such an amazing, brave and beautiful woman.
Thank you. Anybody else? Councillor THEMELIOTIS, would you like to close? No. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item 9.2, the club inquiry process. Do we have an update from staff? Councillor Wilkes, would you like to move or second, or any questions?
No
Sorry,
update. Is there an update? Sorry, no. I wasn't sure if you asked, and I thought that was going to be. Yes, I would love to move as written. Look, I wrote this motion with a desire for continuous improvement. I'm so happy to see that whiteboarding session has come up with this. I think it'll be really great. I really appreciate you acknowledging in the report. Sorry, Councillor Fisher. I thank you for acknowledging the deficit in the club's inquiry process, and I know it's been discussed within the sports community that some inquiries are actioned really quickly and others can enter a little bit of a stalemate, or a long-term stalemate really. This new process is welcomed by our sports community and we look forward to implementing it. And I look forward to actually seeing the review outcomes in July next year. I think that's a really important step, and I love that you added that in. I love that you've shown that initiative to say, hey, we're going to fix it with this, but we're also not going to implement it and make that gospel. We're then going to trial it, and then we're going to review it, and we're going to bring it back to the chamber, and we're going to be able to say, yep, did that work or did that not, or how can we tweak it? I want to thank staff again, because you guys have got such a progressive approach here. And I loved the whiteboard. System that you implemented, and I really look forward to seeing what this will bring for our sporting clubs. So thank you.
Councillor THEMELIOTIS, would you like to second?
Happy to second the motion, and first thank council staff for answering all my questions. I know there's a load of questions there, and I really, really appreciate it. At last night, Councillor EATON and I were at the Happy Valley Sports Park board meeting, and the clubs they never really show us an agenda, but they brought out a council agenda and they signified this as one of the really significant pieces of work and a motion that they wanted to see this chamber get up. I think this is exciting news for our clubs. They want to be able to put in an inquiry, be able to track that inquiry and know things are happening with it. So the reference number is really, really helpful. A lot of this stuff comes down to miscommunication, and I think this is just going to bring it all together, streamline and make things a lot easier for our clubs. So I thank council staff and I thank Councillor Wilkes as well.
Thank you. Councillor Pritchard.
Just wanted to acknowledge the work that council's been doing lately on working with the sporting clubs. So just outside of this process, I think the multi-user sports forums have certainly worked over the last couple of years, and there's definitely, I feel, not an understanding, but a feeling in the community that the clubs are being heard. So I think I think I've got 5 multi-user sports groups in our ward, and we've had regular engagement with them from council. So over the last 6 to 12 months, so it's been excellent. So thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Wilkes, would you like to close debate? No. I'll take it to the chamber. What am I saying? I am saying all those in favour. Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 9.3 is the ONKAPARINGA Community Food Hub. Do we have an update?
Through the Acting Mayor, we received 2 informal questions from Councillor Bell and Councillor Davis, which have been answered via email today and are in your yellow folders. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor EATON?
Yes, I'll certainly move as written.
Thank you. Question or debate? Sorry. Question or debate?
Well, this is an important decision for us.
Sure.
And we've identified an area where it can occur, where it's needed, and certainly has full support. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Greaves.
Yes, thank you. Happy to second as well. Look, I think in a space where council has limited opportunity to be really hands-on, this is a really good opportunity for us to get a little bit of skin in the game and actually get behind the organisations that are actually doing the work.
Thank you. Do we have any other people to ask a question or debate? No. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 9.4, Community Facilities Development Fund. Do we have an update? No. Councillor Wilkes.
Yes, I would like to defer this until the December meeting, please.
Sure. Do we have a seconder? Yes, happy to second. Thank you. All those in favour? Oh, sorry. December meeting. Yeah. Sorry. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Yeah. Sorry, am I going a bit too quick? Sorry. Slow it down a bit. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'll try and slow it down a little bit.
Marion's like, I like this.
Okay, so we're up to 11.2. No, we're not.
9.5.
Oh, damn. I was doing a notice of motion. Okay. 9.5. Sorry, we'll bring it back. Okay, so 9.5, final update report for council-owned land located at SELARU Way, NOARLUNGA Downs. We don't have an update from staff, so Councillor Greaves.
Thank you. Happy to move as written.
Thank you. Councillor Platten.
Happy to second.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or debate? Councillor THEMELIOTIS.
Yes, I'm flashing. Question, please. I just wanted to get an indication, if I can, from the CEO, in terms of community land sales, how much has gone through the process so far? Yeah.
Through the Mayor, thank you, Councillor, for the question. We're currently doing a bit of a tally on how much land revocation we've gone through. I can confidently say that it's in excess of 5 million at this point. There are still some land parcels which are to be considered by the Minister for Local Government, and subject to those being approved, and obviously depending on the market result we get, it could be anywhere up to $10 million.
Okay, and can I just confirm, as part of the long-term financial plan, what was the amount? Was it 3 or 5 million that we had? Can you remind me of the amount again? Thank you.
Through the Mayor, thank you, Councillor THEMELIOTIS. Our annual target is 3 million per annum, so we will exceed that target substantially this financial year.
Wonderful. Councillor Wilkes.
Sorry, can I ask just a supplement question to that? With that extra 2 million then, because it's obviously a surplus or an excess, where will that go?
Through the Acting Mayor, thank you, Councillor, for the question. Our intention is that once we've got a good grasp of the final sale proceeds, there'll be a session and opportunity for councillors to feed into what to do with those proceeds. Obviously, the first tranche will go towards the debt target that's already been approved by the council, but beyond there, there's opportunities for us to look at bringing forward potential capital works, or looking at potentially putting some funds aside for investing in those sorts of aspects. But that discussion will be held once we've gone through all the approved land parcels that have already been approved by council, and subject to local government minister approval and coming back to the chamber.
Thank you. Councillor Greaves, would you like to close debate? All those in favour? Against? Sure. I meant to say carried. Thank you, sorry. Okay, 9.6, the final report for revocation and disposal allotment of 501 at ONKAPARINGA Heights. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pritchard.
Happy to move as written.
Excellent. A debate or questions?
All good.
Councillor Bell.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Happy to second.
Thank you. All those in favour? All against? Carried. 9.7, proposed road closure, open unmade public road, Pill Creek Drive, Old Reynella. Councillor Platten.
Happy to move as written.
Thank you. Councillor Fisher.
I'll second it. Thank you.
Thank you.
No debate.
Sorry. No further questions or debate. All those in favour? Against? Carried. So we're up to 9.8, the submission to ESCOSA review of water regulatory framework. Do we have anyone with a conflict of interest?
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Yes, I'd like to declare a general conflict of interest. I'm the Labor candidate for Hyson at the next state election in March. Thank you, and I intend to stay in the chamber and vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Please hand that over to staff after. Councillor Pritchard.
Happy to move as written.
Thank you. Do you have any questions or debate?
A little bit of debate. So we've talked about this before when City of Onkaparinga, in our leadership role, raised this with the LGA to put onto the LGA agenda, which is happening in November. Unfortunately, the ESCOSA timeline for responses closes before the LGA is being held, and so that's why it's in our papers tonight, so that ESCOSA actually get this feedback, and hopefully they'll take the LGA feedback as well. I think this is fantastic work that's been done again by the City of Onkaparinga to try and provide a more equitable solution. So we've uncovered something that the Department of Environment and Water proposed in 2020 but hasn't been actioned yet, which is this decision to try and extend the CSO funding away from just SA Water to all of those providing wastewater services, which includes us as a CWMS provider, but there are over 50 CWMS networks in the state. I think it's at 39 councils, so this would be a benefit to more than just us. So I think it's another example of us leading the way, which is excellent.
Thank you. Councillor Eaton.
Yes, I'll certainly second it, and I support what's been said. It's a comprehensive report, and it's about trying to get the message across to some of those decision makers. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. We're now up to 9.9, the City of Onkaparinga's response to the draft 2025 State Public Health Plan engagement. Councillor Bell, do you have something you need to say? Conflict?
Thank you, Acting Mayor. I'd like to declare a conflict of interest, general conflict of interest for this item as well. I'm the Labor candidate for Hyson at the next state election in March. I intend to stay in the chamber and vote. Thank you.
Thank you. And a staff update?
Thank you. Through the Mayor, we've identified just an error on page 107, which is repeated in the draft submission, where we've referenced the number of tonnes of illegally dumped waste as 3,000. It's meant to be 300. That'll be corrected when the submission's finalised. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have somebody to move? Councillor Bell?
Thank you, Acting Mayor. If I'm permitted to move the motion, I certainly would like to move the motion. I'm very excited about this submission and very happy with the report that's been provided. And I just want to congratulate the council staff for putting this together. As a health professional, I'm particularly focused on public health, and when I first started here as an elected member, I was blown away by the incredible work that council does on a health and wellbeing subject, in promoting and protecting and preventing and progressing public health. So congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Eaton?
Yes, I'll second as written. Nothing to say.
Thank you. All those in favour? Carried. Item 9.10, what page number are we up to?
Oh, on the agenda?
Yeah, I just thought I'd let people know in case.
I don't.
165 for those that have the paper version. So the draft general purpose financial statements for the period ending June 2025. We don't have an update from staff, so I'll go straight to Councillor Fisher.
Move as written, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Pritchard.
Happy to second.
Thank you. Would you like to debate?
I would.
Sure.
Hi all. I'm not sure if you've all grasped it, but this is a super important agenda item. This is it. This is the confirmation of what we've worked so hard for. These general purpose financial statements are the official externally audited confirmation of our 2024-25 result. They confirm our budget surplus, the first one in 8 years and one that wasn't on the cards when we came into the chamber. But this is much more than just the surplus. In these records, on June 30, 2025, our borrowings were at $119 million. Now, this is still a big number, but in August 2023, we had an EM session on the long-term financial plan. And I went back to the presentation notes to confirm that at that meeting, we were told if we followed the current plan, or the plan at the time, our borrowings at June 2025 would be at $146 million. So that's a $27 million improvement made by us for our community's future. That's what the grant freeze, the changes to green waste and the mattress collection and the removal of the COMMEMORATIng subsidy have delivered. But our service levels were still maintained. In here is a ratio of renewal spend against depreciation, which is greater than 100%, which means we're still maintaining our assets as we need to. In all the external noise surrounding council lately, this is the story I want to tell, and I think it's something we should all be proud of. To the CEO and finance staff and everyone involved, especially those who contributed through the Coromandel Valley workshop, thank you. Your ideas and efforts have driven this success. I also want to acknowledge the Audit and Risk Committee, Paula, Andrew, Chair Tim, and of course Councillor YEOMANS. Having served on the ARC for the past 3 years, I can tell you firsthand how dedicated and thoughtful this group is. Their commitment has been a huge part of this turnaround. When we as a chamber first came in, we didn't know it, but we were inheriting a long-term financial plan that had a fictitious debt cap. Debt was never going to reduce, deficits were ongoing, and the asset management plan was not matched with allocated funding. In February 2024, ESCOSA confirmed what we heard in August 23. We were unsustainable, but by then we were already on the path to repair. And the good news doesn't stop with last year's result. As you'll see in BR1 update, we're forecasting another surplus this year. Borrowings have now peaked, and we've achieved these results while delivering one of the lowest rate increases in Metropolitan Adelaide, and we've reinstated the grants program and delivered our projects. This continues to be an outstanding result. So well done everyone, this is something to celebrate. Now let's make sure these positives are shared with our community. They deserve to know just how far we've come.
Thank you, Councillor Pritchard. Was that moved? Do we need a seconder? No, that was okay. All right, thank you. Any further questions or debate? Councillor Fisher, you want to close? No. All right. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you for highlighting the success of the work that we've all done together. 9.11, presentation of the draft annual report. There's no staff update? No. We'll move straight to the floor. Do I have a mover? Councillor Eaton.
Yes, I'll certainly move it. It really does explain what we've done and what we've achieved in the last financial year. There's just one little minor amendment at page 40 of the report, or 264 on the council agenda, when it talks about interstate international travel for elected members. We refer to the National General Assembly that the Mayor attended in July of 2024, but we've also got the 2025 attendance, which is outside of the financial year. So that'll need to be removed. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for picking that up. Councillor Wilkes.
Yes, I'm happy to second as written.
Thank you. Any questions or debate?
Yeah, I'd just like to sort of echo Councillor Pritchard's comments and just pulled out a couple of things from the draft plan that really highlighted how well we have been doing in tracking compared to what we, sort of the path that we were on as a council when, you know, we were all elected. I loved how we highlighted in there that we've kept within our operating parameters while we've continued to deliver what matters most. We haven't dropped our service level, and we've made 2024, 2025 the first time we've delivered an operating budget surplus in more than 7 years. Borrowings have remained lower than forecasted, and in turn, while any increase in rates is never welcomed, our alignment to CPI meant we delivered the lowest rate increase in South Australia, and I truly think that our chamber should be very proud of what we've achieved. So again, I echo Councillor Pritchard's comments, and I think that we should all give ourselves a really big pat on the back.
Thank you. Councillor EATON? No. All those in favour? Thank you. Carried unanimously. Thank you. And thank you to staff for pulling that together. It's a big piece of work. 9.12, the Southern Region Waste Resource Authority Annual Report. Councillor Pritchard.
Happy to move as written.
Thank you. I assume you want to debate?
Oh, why not? Education about rubbish is
wonderful,
what
please.
Councillor Fisher right next to me is telling me. I think in terms of this annual report, there's quite a few things to highlight, but I'll start with just confirming again that Swara is more than just rubbish. Obviously, we have the landfill, we have a solar site, we have the recycling centre, we have the organics processing of the red bins, so the SRC shed. We have a public drop-off area, and I just wanted to stress that because it's not well known that there's a public drop-off at Swara. We have 2 mobile phone towers. We have loads of buffer land that we use in farming and rentals. And we have the water dam for Connexa. Some things in here. So this year, the board has come up with a new long-term financial plan and a new strategic plan. And we're moving towards green organics in 2026. And part of that review this year with regards to the long-term financial plan demonstrated that we had a greater provision for our landfill liability. So post-closure, we have to maintain some money to look after the site. We've recalculated that this year given the amount of work we're doing on the site, and we were holding too much cash. So that's why part of the annual results for the council are higher, because Swara has released some of those funds in terms of that provision. In terms of the financial performance of Swara this year, it was pretty similar in terms of tonnage, slightly lower tonnage in, and therefore slightly lower income, but also lower expenses to the EPA. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, can I have one more?
Please.
The new CEO started today, Martin Borges, so hopefully we'll get to see him soon.
Wonderful, thank you. Councillor Wilkes.
Happy to second as written.
Thank you. No one else? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. So we're up to 9.13, the quarterly finance report. We don't have an update from staff.
Is it coming? No.
Yeah,
No.
it's coming now.
No, that's okay, she's done. No.
We're good?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Councillor Pritchard.
Happy to move as written.
Thank you.
Doing lots of talking today.
That's okay, we like it. Questions or debate?
Debate.
Please go ahead.
Just a couple of highlights in here. So tracking really well in terms of end-of-year performance and year-to-date performance. The part of the ARC feedback has been around trying to manage carry-forwards from one year to another, and that's pleasantly already being looked at in Budget Review 1, which is great. Just a couple of highlights in here. So there's been some project surplus, including the irrigation project at Woodlanda Golf Course, which is allowing us to replace the Christie's Bowls Club synthetic green already. And there was some surplus from the Murray Street Road resurfacing, which is doing Park Drive. So that's really good. Through this, the Woodlanda Golf Club has an increase in expenses and an increase in income, as council is going to manage that for the 12 months, which is a change while we're waiting for the expressions of interest to go. And interestingly, if in the report, we've started to talk, well, apparently it's been here for a little while, but this report will also talk about our long-term financial plan pressures. So it's on page 368 and 369. So it's starting to list those projects that may be of an impact towards us going forward. So things like MOANA, Surf Life Saving Club and Christie's Beach. REYNELLA Sports Plan was in a previous version. And this report is also now going to track the revocation asset rationalisation. So as the CEO mentioned earlier, this report on page 366 only has $157,000 of that, but we've just heard that that's now up to over $5 million, so that's good.
Thank you. Councillor THEMELIOTIS, do you have questions or debate? Or sorry, what did, I've got to press it, don't I?
I will say.
Thank you.
Councillor Pritchard already mentioned a couple of things that I was going to mention, but I will highlight one in particular, which is around the carry forwards. Now, unfortunately for Thalassa, we are the bridesmaid of the carry forwards. There's no projects coming forward for us, but one day we'll become the bride again and we will shine Thalassa. But a club that I've been working alongside with is the Christie's Beach Bowls Club, who are very, very excited to get their new bowling green. So Christie's Beach Bowling Club, congratulations, tonight's your night.
Thank you. Councillor Wilkes.
Yes, I just had a really quick comment around that as well. Thank Councillor THEMELIOTIS for helping out that club. They are in the Mid-Coast ward, but as we always say, we love it when we can all get together and support those clubs. So it is really great. My point was just around highlighting that I love that we're seeing those surpluses and projects and we're carrying them forward to other projects. So I just wanted to thank staff for that, for highlighting not only that they are going to have budget surpluses, but they're also highlighting other projects that need to be carried forward. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Councillor Pritchard, would you like to close debate? Thank you. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 9.414, realignment of Noarlunga Downs, Port Noarlunga suburb boundary. Give staff time to come. Perfect. Councillor Wilkes, do you have a question? Or would you like
Sure.
to move it?
I would like to defer this motion till next December as well. Next December, to December 2025. Thank you, please. I can give some commentary to that, if that's okay.
Let me just ask that. Should she provide commentary? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, I just want to ask the staff, are there any implications to that? Sorry.
The submissions close on the 1st of December and the next council meeting's on the 5th.
Oh, am I meant to know?
No, that's okay.
Sorry, the next meeting occurs after submissions close, which is the 1st of December 25.
And I'm sorry I haven't put this on notice, but is it possible that we can get an extension for that? It just seems presumptuous of the chamber to support or to write a letter of support when the community consultation has not occurred and we're not fully aware of the outcomes.
Through the Mayor, this is asking for Council's thoughts on the suburb change. The Office of Surveyor General is going directly to residents surrounding the area and also wider via their YourSay page to ask them directly what they think of the matter. Council's being asked, do we support a suburb realignment, which we've historically proposed as reasonable to resolve land division issues.
Okay. So I guess my question is then, do we have access to the I think it's the Office Surveys General results so we can sort of gather community's feedback on supporting the suburb boundary realignment?
So the Office of Surveyor General will publish those results, but they are going directly to hear from the community to make that determination. Council's not making that determination.
Okay. Pardon? Okay. I haven't moved it yet. I'm going to let my co-councillor who resides in the same ward ask a question.
Okay, we'll just adjust that because we thought it was moved, so we'll just... are we happy with that? Is that what you've just instructed? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Councillor Patton.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Just out of interest, when did the Surveyor General contact us for comment?
Through the Mayor, Council was first notified of this back in 22 or 23.
Yep. So why did we wait until November of 2025 to ask the Chamber what their thoughts would be?
This is not a process run by Council, and the Developer Renewal SA have requested that of the Office of Surveyor General recently, and it's gone on public consultation. These sorts of things are proposed through Land Division over time, but we don't actually run this process, we're just subject to it.
Okay, so we only really needed it just recently? Sorry to clarify. They asked for our comment recently.
Yep.
Thank you. Through the Director.
Oh, sorry. We received formal notification on the 30th of October.
Thanks. And just one last question. Why the majority of the land, as far as I understand the boundary, or a portion of the land falls in Noarlunga Downs currently, why are we proposing to not make the land Noarlunga Downs and Port Noarlunga, the other way around?
Through the Mayor, the proposed realignment effectively squares off the suburb of Port Noarlunga and uses the railway line as a physical boundary, which fits in with the southern portion of Port Noarlunga.
Okay. I'm happy to move.
Are you happy to move as written?
I will leave it the way it is. Yep.
Sure, thank you.
But I'll speak to it.
Please.
I have some concerns around Council making a comment when they don't have the idea of public consultation. This is out for consultation, and I understand that we're being asked for comment. It seems quite trivial if you don't live close, like the bridesmaids in Thalassa. But the shift of suburb from Noarlunga Downs to Port Noarlunga can make a considerable difference in the price of a house. I have some concerns that the affordability will decrease because housing prices due to postcode buying will increase. I have concerns that the state government could be wanting this because they will get more stamp duty. And the ever-increasing suburb of Port Noarlunga. We've seen some quite large housing estates, one only a few years ago, become Port Noarlunga, and someone that has spent a vast amount of time in Port Noarlunga as a town certainly doesn't see this area as Port Noarlunga. We've always seen it as Noarlunga or Noarlunga Downs. And I've lived in Noarlunga Downs. I think it's a splendid suburb. I'm not sure why you want to change the name. The only reason you want to change the name is because there's a big old whopping line that runs through the middle of this land and it will dissect houses, and I understand that. So my decision for moving is really to progress this. I do hold concerns, and I would be interested to see what the public has to say.
Thank you. Councillor Fisher, would you like to second?
I'll second it, but I have a question as well.
Thank you.
So to management, can you define what actually the support means? So is it physically just the boundary change, or is there other things that picks up?
The intent of the submission is to advise if Council has any issues with the proposal. From our understanding, there are no impediments to the realignment. So once we've written the letter to say we support, there are no further obligations on Council.
Councillor Greaves.
Thank you. Look, I'm happy to support the motion that's on the table. Effectively, this decision, well, it's not even really a decision, we are just providing, I guess, our expert advice to the request from the state government around this issue. But interestingly, when we talk about community consultation, they are going out for consultation. However, I noted in the agenda that there are 3 private landowners, businesses, Ampol Royal Society for the Blind and Noarlunga Auto 4x4, and 2 state government agencies, including SA Housing Trust and the Department for Infrastructure and Transport, that are going to be affected by this proposal. Indeed, in the future, there may be residential properties, but currently there are no actual residential properties that are actually affected, in effect. So, look, this just seems a very practical way of ensuring that there's a clear delineation, and I'm happy to support the recommendation.
Thank you. Councillor Wilkes.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Look, I hold a little bit of a different view than what's been previously said here tonight. I believe there is residential properties that are affected even though they're not on the land. Port Noarlunga does include quite a few different houses, and I have a little bit of an issue saying that the council supports something when we're not actually sure if that's the view of the residents. Look, I won't be supporting this on the grounds of that. I don't... Yeah, we, like you've said, Councillor Greaves, you know, we do provide expert advice from the council, and I don't feel comfortable sort of writing or supporting it when I don't have the view of my constituents. So I will not be supporting this tonight.
Councillor Platten, do you have any questions or want to close debate? Sorry.
Just a final question. Is there currently residential properties being built on that area?
Through the Mayor, Land Division groundworks are underway, but there's no houses built at this stage.
Yeah, no worries. Super happy to close debate if I can.
Thank you.
The point that really drove me to move this was expert advice. Now, I'm not a town planner. I'm not... I mean, I can see lines on maps and I understand them, but I really do have to rely on people that do this for their living and have a large amount of their life invested into it to give me sound advice. That advice has come to this chamber, and what the state government's asking for is council's advice. And basically, from my understanding, the chamber is clearing the way for that to be given. I would note, though, that there are residences being built on that area, and so I just wanted that noted.
Thank you. As there's no further questions or debate, all those in favour? Against? Carried. 9.15 is a submission for Port STANVAC mixed-use code amendment. We have no update from staff, so do we have a mover? Councillor EATON?
Yes, I'll move it. It's quite a comprehensive submission, and it also addresses that issue in respect to contamination, and we've already had sessions on it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Pritchard?
Happy to second. I just had one question.
Please.
Just in the environmental section, it talks about discrepancies between the Croft 2023 report and the UMWELT 2025 study. Is there some detail on what those discrepancies are? Page 396. Can you do that?
Through the Acting Mayor. Look, there are some discrepancies with respect to a vegetation type, Acacia cyclops, shrubland associations. The mapping borders and also the description of the condition of those varies between the UMWELT 2025 report, which was commissioned by ERPS on behalf of MAB, which is the designated entity for this code amendment, and the work undertaken by Croft for Green Adelaide in 2023. So The reason we've raised that is that we want that reconciled through the development process so that there is direct correlation between those two studies and things haven't been missed.
Thank you. Councillor Wilkes.
Excellent. I just wanted to put a couple of notes on the record, if that's okay. So I just wanted to bring up a couple of issues with the cultural, so the points that were drawn out by myself and a couple of community members. Just some issues with the cultural heritage being assessed by a desktop heritage analysis or assessment. I cannot stress the importance of the high-risk areas that have been mentioned. They've been mentioned with a reasonable assessment, and I hope they're fully investigated, and I can't express enough the utmost importance should be shown through the process for those high-risk mentioned areas. Page numbers for people following is 389 and 396, mentioning those high-risk areas. I'm always asking questions about the contamination, and I appreciate how Council have exacerbated the point on retaining the green link on the southern position of the site. I think it was great how they've highlighted how important those trees are and retaining that green link. I think it's a really robust submission, and for as one of the councillors for the area, I also offer my general support, which was highlighted in our submission. So just wanted them on the record.
Thank you. Councillor Bell.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Apologies, I should have declared a general conflicted interest at the beginning of this item, and want to do so now, and obviously for the reasons that I'm the candidate for Labor in Nyson.
Thank you. Councillor Eaton, would you like to close debate? All right. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. So now we're up to 9.16, the election of South Australia's representative to the Australian Coastal Councils Association Committee of Management. Councillor Wilkes.
Sorry, I haven't had a chance to run this through governance. Do I need to declare a conflict of interest for this one? Okay, I'd like to declare a conflict of interest. This is as I am a non-recipient of funds as... Pardon? I'm going to get some help here. As it's of no monetary value or benefit, I will stay and vote in the chamber. Correct. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to bring to people's attention, I'm sure you're probably already across it, Councillor Wilkes has been supported by the chamber previously, and therefore she's automatically supported, which is great. And we need to select somebody else as part of the nominations as well. There were 2 identified people. So do Councillor Eaton.
Yes, I was going to suggest that we nominate Marilyn Henderson. The reasons I say that is because if you look at her academic background and what she currently does. Thank you.
So I take it you were moving that, Councillor Eaton? Sure, thank you. Councillor Platten.
Yeah, I certainly second that. That was my opinion as well. So happy to second.
Councillor Fisher.
Look, it was a question. I'll still ask it. If we came up with 2 different names, would we not seek advice from governance in relation to an election so that it's clear that the elected members have nominated one person or the other?
Sure, I'll need to take advice on that. I'll be back in a second. So I just want to repeat what I think the question is. You're asking if it can go to ballot and for elected members to choose out of the 2 nominations. So could there be a 3rd nominee that counts?
And that go to a ballot, but we've now moved and seconded. So
okay.
We would need to move an amendment.
Sure. Do you want to just talk to that?
Ballot. So as we, through Acting Mayor, as we currently have a motion on the screen, so we have a mover and a seconder, so we would need to, if that's your intention, we would need to move an amendment for a ballot to occur.
So, yeah, it's a matter of someone from the chamber requesting a ballot to make the determination and then it going to the chamber to decide if that's the process we want to take. Do we have... Keep moving. Okay, Councillor Wilkes.
Just really quickly, I'd like to take this moment to thank the Chamber for supporting me last council meeting. I haven't had a chance to get around and say thank you, but I really do appreciate your support, and I hopefully will be successful in representing South Australia on the Australian Coastal Councils Association. So thank you again.
Thank you. So we will keep moving. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you for clarifying. And good luck as well, Councillor Wilkes, on Friday. 9.17, the Australia Day Award Committee membership. So we have, again, you may nominate yourself, or you may not be nominated by other people. Or if you would like a ballot, we can do that right now. Councillor EATON.
I would certainly like to nominate for it. I've made a point of always being on it, and it's a great opportunity to actually see what members of our community are doing to make the city of Onkaparinga a good place.
Thank you, Councillor EATON. I'll just ask a question. If we have more than 3 interested councillors, we will need to go to a ballot. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Councillor EATON. Councillor Fisher.
I'd like to nominate as well, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Stafford? Sorry, I do that every time.
I too would be happy to nominate for it.
Thank you. And Councillor Wilkes?
Yes, I don't want to, obviously the positions are full. I just have a question for staff or for anyone that can answer it. With these awards, are elected members allowed to nominate local legends?
Through Acting Mayor, yes, you absolutely can, and that is part of our marketing materials. So nominations close, I think, on the 20th of November, from memory.
Perfect, thank you.
Councillor THEMELIOTIS?
As written.
Thank you. We need a seconder, sorry. Councillor Platten?
Happy to second, as written.
Thank you. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Oh, sorry, Councillor Stafford, you did have something.
If it pleases Councillor Wilkes, I'm happy to rescind my nomination. If that's...
Thank you anyway for your kindness, Councillor Stafford. Where have we...
So we'll just go to the vote.
Yeah, so we just need to do the vote. Councillor Fisher.
Yeah, just a point of order there.
God.
Acting Mayor, just in relation to it, I would suggest that the nominated people should abstain from voting.
I think there's no monetary conflict. It's okay? I'll just ask governance to confirm.
We'd still have a call. Yeah, we'd still have a call. It's too late, yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit too late.
It's sure. People have been nominated, it's been seconded, and it's been carried. What's this about? Yep, carried. Beautiful. Okay, we'll keep moving. Thank you. No more curly ones. No, bring it on, it's fine. Okay, 9.18. Council and Committee reporting schedule. Councillor Platten.
I'm more than happy to move as written.
Thank you. Councillor EATON.
I'll second it, thanks.
All those in favour? Oh, Councillor Pritchard, sorry, everyone.
Is there a special council meeting that's been called recently? Is that on? I didn't think it was in here.
Is it in the schedule? I think that's what he's asking. Are you asking if it's in the schedule?
Yeah.
Through the Acting Mayor, that actual special council meeting was organised post-agenda preparation.
Okay, no worries.
Thank you. Any other questions or debate? All those in favour? Against? Carried. All right. We'll now move into questions on notice, acknowledging that we have 4 questions on notice. And then we'll move into motions of notice. Sorry. So our first one tonight is 11.2. I'm just... oh, sorry. 11.1, Councillor THEMELIOTIS, the shared services model for sporting clubs.
just one update for elected members. The highlighted February has now gone to March in line with advice from council staff. Elected members, our sporting clubs are among the most significant community institutions we have. They're places where children learn teamwork, where families connect, and where lifelong friendships are formed. They are part of our social fabric in our city. But we also know that many of our clubs are struggling, not with passion, not with participation, but with administration. Bookkeeping, compliance, governance, reporting, grants management. These are essential functions, and yet we are relying on the dwindling number of volunteers to carry the increasingly complex responsibilities. The reality is that compliance expectations have grown, financial reporting standards have grown, facility management obligations have grown, but the volunteer base has not. I've spoken to clubs across our city who are doing everything they can just to keep the doors open, where the same 3 or 4 individuals are wearing every hat: president, treasurer, secretary, grants officer, canteen coordinator, the list go on. And they're tired. Some are stepping away. And when they go, the risk isn't simply inconvenience. The risk is the club itself. This motion proposes that we investigate a shared services model, a way for interested clubs to access centralised administrative support through council with a modest service fee attached to ensure sustainability. This is not about council taking over our clubs. This is not about removing community leadership. This is about supporting clubs to remain community-led by easing the administrative pressures that have driven volunteers out. Our councils have already moved, other councils have already moved in this direction. State sporting bodies are encouraging this direction. Our clubs are now asking for this direction. This report is a practical step. It costs nothing to investigate and gives us options and sends a clear message to our clubs that we see the pressure you are under and we are willing to help.
Councillor Eaton, are you happy to second
Yes,
this?
I'm second. Nothing to say.
Thank you. Councillor Wilkes. Sure. Councillor Pritchard.
Question.
Thank you.
Is there any reason this has to be limited to sporting clubs? Obviously, we've got community centres with treasurers, we've got National Trust, we've got environmental groups, we've got the Lions Club and Rotary and things like that, and I'm sure that all of those have treasurers and things of those positions.
Staff, are you?
Yeah, through the acting mayor. Yeah, there'd be no reason that the findings couldn't apply to any incorporated group, I'll be thinking. There have been some work in the past with our community centres along some similar sort of ways of trying to support them, particularly around their managing the bookkeeping and sort of sets of accounts and those types of things. So yes, it would probably be possible.
Councillor Pritchard.
Do we need to amend the motion at all, or are you happy to include that as part of the report if it was to pass?
Given it's a notice of motion, it will need to be an amendment.
Okay. Can I move an amendment?
Yes, please.
To remove the word sporting from third line.
Oh, sorry.
Clubs.
Oh, sorry, Councillor Pritchard. Because you've debated, you can't actually make. Sorry, we're just. It was a question. Sorry, Councillor Pritchard. That information I just gave you is incorrect. You can actually move an amendment because all you did was ask a question rather than debate before. So, what would you like the amendment to be? The language the officer used before was association. Yeah.
Yeah, so after sporting clubs.
Can you please press your microphone? Thank you.
Other incorporated entities.
And add in other.
Incorporated entities?
Yeah, that's what I'm being told. I mean, that's what I'm telling you.
Incorporated is actually quite broad.
Would that capture community centres?
Other.
Service organisation, yeah.
Happy? Stuart?
I'm just going to seek advice from staff.
Yeah. Through the Acting Mayor, look, I think it would, probably sporting clubs, I think sporting clubs, community centres and community halls possibly could cover the majority of the groups that are in our, in council and community-owned buildings. The incorporated entities might go beyond what we're perhaps thinking for the motion.
Can I ask, is the intent as well not-for-profit? Could that help?
Yeah. Other not-for-profit community organisations? Well, you don't have to accept it.
Councillor Pritchard, are you happy with what's on the screen?
Yep.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Wilkes.
Thank you. Yes.
You're happy to second?
Happy to second as written.
And do you have any questions, or would you like to debate?
I'll have a very slight debate, please. I'll just thank Councillor THEMELIOTIS for bringing this to the Chamber and Councillor Pritchard for amending it to include all clubs. I think anything we can do to help with those dwindling numbers of volunteers. I mean, there's no hidden facts there that our clubs are struggling and volunteers are becoming less available. So I think that this is would be warmly welcomed by our community, and look forward to hearing a report come back in March.
Thank you. Do we have any further questions or debate? Councillor THEMELIOTIS, would you like to close debate? Oh, sorry, Councillor THEMELIOTIS. We need to vote on the amendment first. Sorry about that. All those in favour? Against? Carried. And now, Councillor THEMELIOTIS, could you please close debate, if you'd like? Oh, sorry.
Elected members, I'll be talking about my motion, even though that's not the motion that has now moved forward. Elected members, when we looked at long-term leases, we started with surf life-saving clubs. And we did that because we wanted to start with a small group and see if it was workable, come up with a process that worked. We then expanded it out, and now we have long-term leases for our sporting clubs. So I really wanted to start with one group, see if it was workable, doable, that it's something that was appreciated, that council can deliver on, and then expand it on. Once we've got a mechanism that's working, then expand it on further. It makes sense. I feel a bit like when you just chuck everyone in, you end up getting a lot of different opinions, whereas if we had a workable model and started feeding people into that model, I think that would have been sort of a better outcome. But hey, let's give this a go. I'm not sure what it's going to look like, because the needs of sporting clubs will be very different from an association, a Lions club, a community centre, and some of those groups already have additional supporting mechanisms, whereas the call-out was actually from our sporting clubs. So I'd rather target the people who have actually called for it rather than just adding groups in because it feels good to add in service groups and it feels good to add in. So I was targeting our community-owned facilities and our council-owned facilities as well. So we'll see where this goes, but I feel like it will end up getting wound back to just sporting clubs initially and then expand it out further.
Thank you. I'll now put the motion. All those in favour? All those against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 11.2, Councillor EATON, Coromandel Valley Community Centres upgrade.
Yeah, certainly. This is. I'd just like to amend it that we're looking at. We've got March 26 up there. I've been having discussions with staff and.
Sorry, Councillor EATON, I don't mean to interrupt you, but are you asking questions or debate, just so we know to press
debating.
Play. Beautiful, thank
you. What happened was this matter's been floating around for about 6 or 7 months, or a bit longer than that. We've been trying to encourage the Coromandel Ramblers to get some form of submission up. When they did it, they didn't even have it countersigned by Peter Mew, the chair of the Coromandel Community Centre. We've now had that done. The Mayor Today we received also a letter of support from Erin Thompson, although it's out of her electorate, but she's supporting the proposal. And I also understand that staff are meeting with the Coromandel Community Centre Board sometime next week to discuss these things. So it's about trying to get this, we were trying to get this up and done before the elections, but unfortunately to the way things progressed through the Coromandel Ramblers trying to get it up, it didn't happen in time. So certainly it's an important matter that needs to be addressed, and it needs to consider those impacts on that particular area, because you've got a number of groups using it, and certainly the board need to be involved in it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor THEMELIOTIS?
Yes, happy to second and debate really briefly. What this motion is looking at is a collaboration between Coromandel Ramblers and Coromandel Community Centre. This is a very new thing for council to consider. So this is why we're coming to a report, and council staff, one of the first steps will be bringing those groups together and having a conversation to find out a little bit more about the proposal, to see if it's even supported by council and is something that's a workable model going forward. So it will come back to us once we've got a lot more information. There's information that Councillor Eaton and I don't even have, so this is triggering council staff the opportunity to start finding out a little bit more to bring back to the chamber.
Thank you. Councillor Greaves?
Look, I'm happy to support it, but I'm just curious, the comment about it being included in our advocacy plan, I'm assuming that's not for the upcoming state government election, it's for future. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Eaton, you might want to respond to that in your final debate, if you like, as we close.
Certainly I would have liked to have seen it in the advocacy plan, but because of what's happened and the length of time that it's taken... Sorry, I would have liked to have seen it in the advocacy plan. That was why I was looking at December. But in all fairness to staff, it's a timeline that we couldn't meet. And in fact, had the Coromandel Ramblers got this act together a little bit earlier, well, perhaps we might have been able to meet that achievement and to have had it included in our advocacy plan. But it's a matter that needs to be looked at in the future. And of course, it's also looking at 100% outside funding. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 11.3, Councillor Eden, the presentation from Green Adelaide and Hills and FLEURIEU landscape boards.
Yeah, certainly. I've had the opportunity to attend a couple of recent briefings that have been done by the Hills FLEURIEU landscape board with the Clarendon Agricultural Bureau, and they've been extremely informative. A lot of that's been around agriculture, but certainly there's a need for us to be aware of those biodiversity issues across the area. I'd also had discussions with the Green Adelaide Landscape Board in respect to certain parcels of land that we were looking at of community land revocation. And there is a lot of misinformation out there, and I think it's extremely important for the elected body to have a good understanding of those biodiversity issues across our whole area, so that we're better informed. There's also, I'm very interested in the monitoring of waterways and what have you, because there's this blame on the algal bloom to come out of the Murray-Darling system, which is not necessarily the case. One's just got to look at what happened on the River Torrens last year that would have contributed to it, and what our neighbourhoods are actually pushing into the Gulf compared to the volume of water that actually comes down the River Murray system. I also had the pleasure, Marion and I, last Tuesday night of attending a presentation at the Clarendon Community Association, where the biodiversity section with SA Water actually gave a presentation in relation to what they were doing around the Mount Bold Reservoir area and the Maiponga Reservoir, and I had a bit of a talk to the guy afterwards about the Happy Valley Reservoir, and they're another group that could be considered to speak to us about those biodiversity issues, and even consideration in looking at... It's going to be a fairly long evening, to be quite honest, and it might even have to be a couple of nights, I don't know, but it is a matter that will help to better inform the chamber when it makes some of its decisions in respect to land revocations, and we're talking about developments in the area and the impacts that it could have. So I hope everybody supports it.
Thank you. Councillor Platten.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. I'd like to second it if I can.
Sure. Any questions or debate?
Just a short debate.
Thank you.
To say that anyone who knows me knows how much I love elected member sessions. 1, 2 or 5, Councillor Eaton, I'm there. From trees to cats to stormwater, we have a lot of issues. We are the largest metropolitan city council, and I think it would be good to have as many inputs as we can when we make decisions, so I fully support.
Thank you. Councillor Wilkes.
Yes, I fully support this motion as well. I was lucky enough to attend a 2-day forum and the Hills and FLEURIEU Landscape Board were present and asked some amazing questions during that forum, and I thought when I saw your notice of motion how beneficial that will be for our chamber. So thank you for bringing this to the chamber, Councillor Eaton.
Councillor Bell.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Just a point of clarification, really. I think any education sessions that we can, and information sessions are great, but just a point of clarification regarding just the wording. It says presentation from the Green Adelaide Hills FLEURIEU boards, and in the motion it actually says elected member sessions. So I'm just wondering whether you're after an elected member session or just a presentation here for council meeting.
Councillor Eaton.
It's actually a presentation by the landscape boards at an elected members session.
Thank you for clarifying.
Because it's going to take a lot of time.
Thank you. I'll just take advice from governance. Do you need it refined further?
No, that's fine. I think
Okay. Wonderful. Councillor Platten.
Just a question, if I can, Acting Mayor. Should that say elected member sessions then?
Councillor Platten, thank you. I've got to compose. Do we have any, Councillor Eaton, would you like to close debate? No? All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. Item 11.4, MOANA Surf Life Saving Club. Do we have a mover? Councillor Platten.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Unfortunately, Councillor YEOMANS couldn't be with us tonight. He asked if I might move his motion, and I'm more than happy to make it my own. So I would like to move it, if I can. I think, based on the last few conversations we've had, it's important to get facts, and reports are the way we do that. So we've been approached by the MOANA Surf Life Saving Club to do some upgrades, and basically all this is asking for is a report to come back to see how it fits in with our current financial planning, and whether we're able to do it and what timeframes it would be. So I'm more than happy to support it, and I hope that everyone does too.
Thank you. Councillor Pritchard, are you happy to second?
Yeah, happy to second, having also spoken with Councillor YEOMANS about this, and yes, he wanted to stress that this is just bringing a report to the chamber so that a decision can be made. The other way of doing it would have been a petition from the Surf Life Saving Club, so he thought this would be a better way.
Thank you. Do we have any other further debate or questions? I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour? Against? No one? Carried unanimously. Thank you, everyone. So we're now moving into urgent business. No petitions? Okay, sorry. Oh, perfect. So we have received one petition, the development application for the construction of 4 single-storey dwellings in a terraced arrangement in Morphett Vale. Do we have a mover? Councillor Greaves.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to move the recommendations as noted in the agenda. Brief debate.
Thank you.
Look, I have had a couple of conversations with the head petitioner, and Morphett Vale, and particularly this part of Morphett Vale, is quite an older area with very established properties, and so it probably comes as a shock to some of the residents when a house is knocked down and there are plans put forward for a redevelopment. I think In relation to this particular piece of land, there are a few little interesting, not anomalies, but just ways that the planning system has actually been dealing with it. And I thank the council officer for taking the time to actually have a conversation with the petitioner, and I guess to reassure them of the validity of the way things have progressed so far. But it certainly doesn't negate the fact that we have a petition. This is a new form of development for this street, and undoubtedly we'll have more of these as time goes by, but certainly like to extend my thanks to the petitioner and to the staff for addressing this.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder, Councillor Platten?
Thank you, Acting Mayor. I'd like to second it if I can. Can I just ask a question?
Please.
Does council, as in this chamber, have an ability to overturn a planning decision?
Through the Mayor, no.
No. Is that made clear to the petitioner?
Yes, that was.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'll put, Councillor Greaves, no, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. Second petition is the land division at Clarendon. Councillor THEMELIOTIS.
Yes, happy to move and debate briefly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Elected members, I just want to highlight a couple of concerns that have been raised by residents about this land division. And it really, I tried to bring it down into the key areas, and the key areas are around the waterways in the area, potential flood risks, the environment, and obviously any development wanting to keep it in keeping with the look and feel of Clarendon, so that heritage look and feel. What I also want to do is thank Renee and Matthew for coming out to Clarendon and presenting to a group of residents, including some of the soon-to-be residents of Clarendon. I can say after that meeting, I only received very, very positive feedback, only because the communication was clear. Residents understood the process. They understood all the very strict guidelines and that residents will be under around addressing any potential flood risk or the waterways, and those residents made it very, very clear, despite what some real estate agents put up online, the truth of the matter is they are going to be developing properties that look and feel like Clarendon and will fit that particular location. What I will say, since this petition has come to us, I've received a number of phone calls from residents, and I'm not sure if Councillor Eaton has also, where residents have said that they signed this before the presentation of council staff, before meeting those residents that will be moving in and actually having a conversation, and those residents sharing a lot of the information about their development, and have been very, very supportive of this going forward. So what I will say to the residents who have strong concerns, that council staff have made it very, very clear that nothing will progress unless those issues around the waterways and potential flooding are addressed, and there is a huge set of guidelines for them to address. So I'm confident with this one going forward.
Councillor Eaton.
Yes, I'll certainly second the motion, and thank you for the attendance the other night. I think it explained things to people, and it certainly was interesting. There was one long-term resident from St Ninians Road made the point that he's in the CFS, he didn't have any issues with it, and he did remind the head petitioner that their house was built after his house, after he moved in. So I think we've done all we can do, and staff have been fairly overwhelmed with questions on this one. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no further debate, oh, sorry, Councillor THEMELIOTIS, did you want to close? No. Put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. Item 13.1, sorry, urgent business. Do we, yes?
Urgency really comes down to timing. Elected members, I did send this out on Thursday to give you 4 days notice, so you had plenty of time to ask important questions of council staff, reach out to me, which none of you really did reach out to me. You understand what I'm trying to do here, and I'm happy and welcoming your debate.
Councillor THEMELIOTIS, just it's up to my discretion.
Oh,
as
sorry,
acting
apologies.
Mayor. That's okay.
My apologies.
I just wanted to understand your rationale, if that's okay, so I can make up my determination.
Okay. It really comes down to timing, and the questions I asked of council staff, although very, very tight and will put council staff under pressure, could be achievable if we start essentially tomorrow.
Okay. I'm willing to accept it given it's November and this is a December event, so if it is to be supported. So please go ahead. Do you have any questions or would you like to
I
get
will
into debate?
just briefly because I feel like the motion is already in there.
Thank you.
Elected members, this motion is about continuity and community. For many years, bar election years, our Christmas light competition has been more than just a festive season decorations. It's been a way of neighbours to come together and families to participate in something joyful. And our city, it helps our city feel connected at a time of year when both it's a celebratory time of year, but it also can be a difficult time of year for many. Residents have reached out to me and began asking questions about this event, no doubt being triggered by some of the information on social media. Some have been preparing displays, others have been sharing their memories of taking their children and their grandchildren to see the lights as part of the Christmas light competition. They value this tradition, not measured by its trophies, but the sense of belonging it creates in our city. The discontinuation at this stage has been met with a bit of disappointment for those who participated in multiple years. Reinstating this as an elected member initiative ensures that the tradition continue while maintaining proper governance and making good use of systems and processes that we've already had in place for many years, so this is not a new event. This is low cost, a cost of $250, a high value activity, and administration already have the experience to support it within existing resources. Elected members are more than willing to contribute in terms of judging and presentations, and the benefit to our community connections are tangible. This motion is simply about keeping a good thing going, something that brings joy, pride and togetherness across our city. So I'm just asking for your support to ensure that we have a Christmas light competition this year.
Councillor Greaves, would you like to second or ask any questions?
Yeah, I'm actually happy to second. I think that the loss of something that actually brings so much joy and excitement to kids in our community should be something we continue with. I am more than happy to second it. I'm also more than happy to participate. And I would actually like to nominate Councillor THEMELIOTIS to actually lead.
I will lead all the way.
Lead all the way. This morning, well, I guess the pageant was on the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So let me say that the Christmas lights have already started going up in Woolunga. Our Minions themed Christmas lights on Aldinga Road. I don't know if any of you have seen them down there. They're already up and ready to go. So there are so many people in our community who do participate, and I do think it's a shame if we don't actually celebrate it with them.
Councillor Platten, question or debate?
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Just asking a question to administration, if I can. Just for some clarification, is this possible to organise in the very short time frame?
Please go ahead.
So through the Acting Mayor, we outlined in a response to Councillor THEMELIOTIS a timeline that would make this possible. However, noting that previously, arrangements for this event would have started in September. So we're on an extremely constrained time frame. Essentially, advertising materials and nomination forms would need to be ready by this Friday, which of course have not started to be designed because this is urgent business as of tonight. So in order for this event to work, there would be constrained timelines, and we are cognizant of a number of other events that are in planning or in progress, of which a number of you are involved. So I think that's just something for consideration.
Just a follow-up question to that is, do we currently restrict people from putting Christmas lights up?
Through the Acting Mayor, absolutely not.
Okay. And do we currently publish a map so that people can see lights?
Through the acting mayor, yes, we do.
Okay. And when would we normally announce a winner to the Christmas competition?
So through the acting mayor, it would normally be around the end of the first week of December.
Yeah. And has this, sorry, many questions, has this never been at the mayor's discretion? Has this ever been an initiative of the chamber?
Through the acting mayor, because this particular event falls under the mayoral civic events policy and procedure, it is an event that the mayor would organise with civic governance staff at the beginning of the year and coordinate. So it has been a mayoral event.
Okay, thank you. I'm happy to move into debate, if possible.
Thank you.
Councillors, I appreciate that this is urgent. It's certainly coming to the festive time of the year, which I thoroughly enjoy and always have. In fact, I've served on the Mayor's Christmas Light competition, I think in the first year that I was a councillor, and I thought it was fantastic. My concern is we as a chamber are based in policy, and the policy currently is that the Mayor has discretion over this. Now, our Mayor has chosen not to do that for the last 2 years, whatever those reasons are. Unfortunately, the Mayor's not here to tell me what those reasons are. But what I do know is that our staff will be put under quite a lot of pressure to turn around a competition which I certainly knew wasn't part of the agenda. We could have brought this notice of motion in October or September or August, but we didn't. It was brought to us tonight in urgent business. I have concerns around that. I have concerns about the tight time frame. I'm actually amazed at how cheap it is. I think that's fantastic. And I would love to see it come back next year. I'd love to see the policy change because that's our lever. That's what we drive. And I think we really need to stick to that.
Councillor Eaton.
Yes, unfortunately it won't happen next year because next year's an election year. And, just a couple of weeks before we'd start the competition, there are elections and the chamber could be significantly changed. In the last term, I participated on each occasion, and it is a great opportunity to get out there and meet residents across the whole of the city. And it also focuses on another group. Yes, look, we've had the writing competitions, drawing competitions for kids and the literacy stuff for kids and those sorts of things. But this engages another area, and to actually go along when you do some of those presentations, particularly those street ones, it's absolutely brilliant, so I'm supporting it.
Councillor Bell.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. I'm actually not in support of this motion. I'm not opposed to, of course, Christmas festivities. I love, like everyone else, the Christmas festivities. I do have one question I'd like to ask of the staff, if I may, before I fully go into debate. I just realised, if I may. Can you confirm that it's only $250?
Through the acting mayor, had we have planned the Christmas light competition earlier in the year, it would have been $250. At this stage, because we are not sure of the design team's resource availability, there may be extra costs around the $500 or $600 mark for external graphic design if our internal graphic design team can't put together all of the materials for the competition.
Another question, if I may. If this motion was voted down, is there any reason or anything stopping elected members in their own regions from running their own competition?
Through the acting mayor, no, there is no reason why elected members could run the competition in their own capacity.
Thank you. As I'd like to debate now, please, Acting Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
As I said, look, I really love the festive season in particular, all the things that we do. I won't list them all, but you know them all, and I look forward to them all. But I speak against the motion because, as Councillor Platten mentioned, it's a policy decision that really we've already not been involved in, and the Mayor has made a decision with the help of the staff earlier in the year. I believe, although there's good intent here, I believe the motion sadly undermines our decision-making process, or that decision-making process. I believe it undermines the Mayor and her decision and her authority. I believe that this motion really potentially sets a dangerous precedence. If we have already a legitimate process in place, and it will undermine that. I'm concerned that it will create risk in terms of increasing doubt and lack of confidence within our community about our elected body and our ability to make decisions and working collaboratively and respecting decisions. I believe it could potentially risk and fuel misinformation in our community. And we know there's plenty of it out there at the moment. I believe that, sadly, this is deeply respectful and taking advantage of the absence of Mayor Weir. Even though I'm sure it's not intended that way, I believe that that's what it does. I'm concerned that it's just attempting to rescue and advocate, but I don't think it's either. I believe that potentially it's unethical and unprincipled. It's not how I operate, and I don't want to be seen operating in this way, undermining the Mayor. I don't think we should be seen to be operating this way. So I actually urge all of you to vote it down, or I even ask Councillor THEMELIOTIS to consider withdrawing the motion. Thanks.
Councillor Wilkes. Oh. Do you have a question, or would you like to debate?
I am going to go into debate.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. This is a tricky one. We've all addressed it. The Mayor is not here. It's her discretion for her mayoral events. She run the role and she can lead as she sees fits. So it's really tricky. I'm not going to get involved in that. I wanted to acknowledge someone said that staff might have a bit of trouble putting this all together. Staff are amazing, proven that time and time again from every department in council. I can truly honestly stand here and say how awesome they are. And I think that, you know, for them, they've run this event so many times, I couldn't see it, you know, being a problem for them. It's something that we've seen in our community year in, year out, apart from those election years. Look, I think our community really find joy in this event, especially in the Christmas lights. I think they see love, a lot of love. It's low cost and high value. This is the event itself. I mean, the questions came from the community when they heard that it wasn't being run. I was asked about it. Why isn't it being run? It's at discretion. I just think it's a really happy mix of community. And while I'm not getting involved you know, I just think it's got a name to it. It's got the mayor's name to it. But I'll support it on the basis that the community love it. And then it's a long-standing event, and the nature of the event creates joy in our community. So I think if it's named, you know, the ONKAPARINGA Christmas event and have the elected member's name in it, who really minds what it's called? It's something that the community have gotten used to, something that the community love, and something that the community have been a part of for a very long time. So I just think, who doesn't love seeing little faces light up and know that they're going to see an award-winning light display? So yeah, again, low cost, high value, really, sometimes, you know, it's just a light.
Councillor Platten, you have already debated, so it has to be a question.
I do. Thank you, Acting Mayor. Just to administration, is the Chamber or the Council prevented from running a Christmas light competition in an election year?
Through the Acting Mayor, our general practice is to not run competitions that promote elected members through an election year. You also need to consider the caretaker policy, which would not really allow that type of event to occur under the name.
So the City of Onkaparinga Christmas light competition could run then?
Yes.
Thank you.
Councillor Fisher.
Debate, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm speaking against the motion as well, and I'm not a Grinch either. I'm a practising Christian and respect the Christmas festivities wholeheartedly. I'm also very proud of the consistent decisions that we have made as a chamber, and those decisions are a vote, which is democracy, and that's what it comes down to. And this motion, if it's passed, will be evident. It'll be evident that democracy works. I also think it undermines the Mayor's discretion. It is against policy that we don't have, and it's an extremely tight line. And yes, the staff would be able to pull it off, and I'm no doubt elected members will be running to it to make sure that it's judged. Something also that Councillor Platten said, it's a competition we're talking about. We're not actually saying that you don't have to have Christmas lights. So I don't know how we affect the community spirit by not having a competition. So once again, I urge members to vote against the recommendation. Thank you.
Councillor Davis.
Thank you. Debate. I'm actually concerned with the residents. If they've been thinking all year that we are not having this, is there going to be some financial strain on people now where they're going to rush out, try and buy a whole heap of lights, try and get it because they won it before and now they want to compete? And I don't think it's very inclusive. It just gives an advantage to those financially independent people that can go out and buy a whole lot of set of lights and get into a competition. So I love the idea of lights. I don't think making a late run for a competition now actually benefits most of our residents. I think they've known most of the time it's not going to happen. They're not going to, like every year, they're going to build upon what they've done. They might not have done that this year. So I think the people that have won it and been real good participants in it last time are probably at a bit of a disadvantage if we throw it at them. I know, financially now you're already sort of committed to what you're going to do in December, so this might put a bit of extra strain and it's a bit of an unfair advantage to some people.
Councillor Pritchard.
Just a question to start with, please.
Thank you.
Did we run the Mayor's I've just done the garden competition, lights competition in 2024?
Through the acting Mayor, no, we did not.
Did we receive any complaints after the 2024 Christmas period as to the lack of a Christmas lights competition?
Through the acting Mayor, I'm not aware of any resident complaints.
Thank you. Just in debate, I'm not in support of this motion. I don't see this as urgent business, as it could have been raised at any time since March this year that there was no competition. As Councillor Platten said, and Councillor Wilkes, the Mayor's discretionary events, I think the poetry competition's been really well received from what I understand, and there's nothing stopping residents from putting lights up and going to have a look at them. So I don't see that this is a necessary piece of business for tonight.
Any further debate or questions? Councillor THEMELIOTIS, would you like to close debate?
Thank you very much. Thank you, elected members, for the debate. I will say some of the debate was actually personally heartbreaking to me. A number of elected members could have called me. So I've given you 4 days' notice of this notice of motion. I gave my rationale. I gave my reasoning. I didn't hide this from you. I didn't spring this on you. Any one of you could have messaged me, you could have called me, you could have knocked at my door, you would have been able to find me and I would have had a conversation with you about this. So I want to say that some of this debate I have personally taken to heart. And I think that's grossly unfair because I intentionally took the Mayor out of this. I didn't actually mention the Mayor in my debate one bit, because I have that much respect for the Mayor that I wanted to turn this into an elected member event. I intentionally took the Mayor out. Do you want to know why I took the Mayor out? Is because the Mayor doesn't need to defend herself, because there is an endorsed position of this chamber. We endorsed the events that the Mayor has chosen to run. So she doesn't need to defend herself. This isn't against the Mayor. But the way this has been tied is now that I have some either personal vendetta or I am going up against the Mayor, which I am not. This, in its simplistic form, is fairy lights. In its greater form, it's something that brings street pride. It's something that attracts many of our residents to want to travel throughout our city and visit. There are a number of residents throughout our city, or wards, that do these competitions and they have gold coin donations. Now, the reason why they do that is because they're raising money for charity. So it's not just about the Christmas lights. I don't know that many of them would be going and purchasing more because a lot of them are regular participants, but they can light up streets, and streets being lit up with residents running drives to raise money for cancer awareness, for domestic violence, for other issues across our city, for a $250 cause of council, I think is a very worthy cause. Any elected member should be allowed to raise a notice of motion and bring it to this chamber and not be made to feel the way I am feeling right now. If residents see something on social media and it triggers them to reach out to their local councillor and question a decision, and they're questioning that decision because that decision was not made public enough for residents to be made aware that there was no Christmas light competition. Sorry, elected members, but look at the chamber. Residents don't turn up. Residents don't read agendas. They were not aware. Now, through social media, they've been made aware, and guess what? I got calls, I got messages, I got posts sent to me. Have you seen this? Have you seen that? What have you done? So I thought in my wisdom, you know what I would do, because the heat is on, those social media posts that only just recently happened, I would do what I have as an elected member, the power to bring a notice of motion and inform my elected members early, 4 days notice. So I was not springing this on you, I wasn't surprising you, and this was not against the Mayor. So we could have a respectful debate. But this has been turned into something that is completely against what I stand for. Elected members, I ask you to support this so elected members at this stage could run a Christmas light competition. Thank you.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against?
Hang on, just wait.
Sorry, we might just do that again. All those in favour? So 5. Against? 5.
So you have a casting. Just wait. You have a casting.
I have the casting decision and I vote against it. Sure. Division, all those for, please stand. Against? Councillor Wilkes, you need to vote.
Sorry, can you just call them out from the screen?
Sorry. Against is Councillor Bell, Councillor Fisher, Councillor Pritchard, Councillor Platten and Councillor Davis. And for, so Councillor Wilkes, I didn't see you stand.
I'll go for the 4.
Okay, and then Councillor, so again, and 4, we'll do, are you okay with what you've got? Or do you want me to read it out?
No, that's fine. So
4, I'll just do it for the recording. So 4, please all stand. Councillor Greaves, Councillor Eaton, Councillor Stafford and Councillor Wilkes. And Councillor Themeliotis, sorry, Councillor. And I'm also remaining to be against as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you everyone for that robust debate. We will move into confidential items, please.